The event is centered around a new book of the same name by David Brody with Christian Broadcasting Network, who's to my right. On the panel today is Robert Jones, the CEO of Public Religion Research, Robert Costa from National Review, Carrie Pickett from the Washington Times, and Eric Maripodi from CNN's Belief blog. David is going to give a couple introductory remarks about his book and the general terrain of what we're talking about, and then he'll toss it over to Robert for an overview of polling numbers, and then we'll get to discussion and then any questions at the end.
Thank you, John. Thanks. Hey, guys. You know, this book really started in 2009, 2010. I didn't know I was going to write the book in 2009 or 2010, but when I went to these Tea Party rallies, what I noticed was there were folks praying to begin these Tea Party rallies, and I also noticed that there were actually, I never forget it, there were a few prayer circles as well, and I said, wait, that's an evangelical thing, prayer circles and all of that. I'm not saying they were happening at all these Tea Party rallies, but they were definitely happening at a few. And so I decided as a reporter, I thought I might want to go interview a few people. And then it turns out that many of them that I was talking to were conservative Christians. And so I said to myself, well, I need to come up with a term for this. And once the midterm elections ended and they had the Tea Party had such a dramatic effect on the outcome of the midterm elections, I looked at the raw data. And I noticed and I saw from many different groups, including Robbie's and others, that at least half the Tea Party considers himself conservative Christian. It depends how you phrase the question. I'm sure Robbie will get into that more. But the point is that the majority of the Tea Party is conservative Christian. So I decided to come up with a name for it. And I said I could call them Tea Party Christians. I thought that was a little too boring. Then I thought Christian Tea Partier. I was like, well, that's a little too radical. But then I did come up with the Teavangelicals, which I thought was perfect. It's the conservative Christians that are breaking bread with the Tea Party libertarians, as I say in the book, to take back America. And a lot of people always wonder, take back America, what does that mean exactly? Well, just simply put, take back America to its founding, constitutionally limited government, Judeo-Christian principles, in essence, a strict constructionist view of how they see the rule of law and everything under it. So that was the basis for the book. And one of the key parts of this book, and why I love to go on the mainstream media outlets all the time, is to break down and be somewhat of a myth buster, if you will, because truthfully, the evangelicals in this movement are not out to co-opt the Tea Party movement. They just aren't. They're not out to start now with life and marriage and bring all of that social issue baggage, if you will, into the Tea Party. They're not out to do it. I'm not saying that there aren't pockets of resistance out there. I think that would be too naive to suggest there are not. Having said that, they're definitely not out to co-opt the movement. And the last time I checked, evangelicals are not just a one or a two-trick pony. It's not just about the life and the marriage issue. And one thing I wanted to make clear as I traveled around the country and interviewed many of these conservative Christians that are in the Tea Party movement is that they actually care about pocketbook issues. They care about the debt in this country. They care about the morality of fiscal responsibility, and they see it all through a biblical worldview. And so they're not a one or a two-trick pony, but they are a seven or an eight-trick pony, if you will. And I think it's really important because I think the mainstream media, and no disrespect as I call them intellectually lazy, but there is an intellectual lazy element to all of this. And I thought it was important to point that out in the book because evangelicals, conservative Christians, are a lot more well-rounded than just the life and the marriage issue. So that's kind of an overview. And we'll get into Romney and what it means exactly, how this Teavangelical subset, I call them a subset, but they're an integral subset, will be key for his chances in 2012. So let me give it over to